Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Josh here, and this is my review of said movie. Now, being the sixth movie in a series, you would think that this series is starting to lose steam, but in fact, I would actually say this is my favorite entry in the series, and I'd like to preface this by saying that I have not read past Goblet of Fire, so I do not know the plot, I do not know the proper adaptation. I'm told this does change things, but in my opinion, I do think this flows rather smoothly. True, it doesn't have necessarily the massive build-up that you would expect a single movie to have, as this really is a connecting piece towards the, I guess, split movie or split 2 movie adaptation of the Deathly Hallows. But regardless, I do think it has a really great lot of character development in it, and there's a lot of tense scenes. The Dumbledore plotline with Voldemort is fantastic in this, and I actually like to make special mention of the actor who plays young Voldemort. Damn, that kid is creepy. He could give the Omen dude a run for his money. Now, like I said, the story doesn't necessarily have the massive bang at the end as you would expect, although there is a surprise ending for those that haven't read the books. And it really caught me off guard, at least. And again, not having read this far. And managed to avoid spoilers somehow. God, it's getting more difficult by the day. But like I said, there's a lot of great character pieces in this. I actually felt that Ron and Hermione actually grew in this movie a little. In the last couple movies, they've just been kind of there. I realize they've been playing a bigger part each time, and in Goblet they had a lot of time, but it just felt hollow in Goblet, and I didn't really care for Order of the Phoenix, personally. So, this definitely was the best bit of them. The change from Draco, even though he doesn't have a massive part in this film, though he does play a large part in the story, he's played out really well, and particularly his conflict with Harry is really interesting, as it really does. You do have the sense of nostalgia and sense of legacy with them after this long and this many movies, and again, if you read the books, with the books, so it really plays out quite effectively. Also, I'd like to give note that there is not a lot of supporting actor or supporting actors in here. Now, granted, we have a little more on the Death Eaters, which I was pleased about, and we do have a few more students pop up. And, of course, the new professor has to show up. But most of them don't really leave too much of an impact, which is kind of sad in the case of the Death Eaters. Students, it's understandable. They serve their purpose. They're perfectly fine. Special mention goes to Professor Slughorn, the new teacher. And, man, he is really funny. And I want to say he's a great actor. I don't think he's an amazing actor, but he plays his role, the role that he's required to, extremely well. And his repertoire with Dumbledore is particularly fun to watch. So all around, the story is quite nice. I do think it has a good flow, though it is more of a connecting piece. And the characters are all perfectly done, even better than before, in my opinion. And nothing really feels superfluous in this movie. Despite this being a long movie, in my opinion, it all kind of fit in. Now, as for the effects and the sound, what's to complain about? I mean, this is a big budget blockbuster, and as always, the movie looks and sounds great. The music is fantastic. It's more of a minimalist use in the Half-Blood Prince than there is in the other movies, but I did appreciate that it went along more with the pseudo-serious tone that they had going on through a lot of the movie. Now, the effects, I actually wanted to make again, special note of this, because I found that they had a better direction this time around. There was more of a sustained palette throughout for specific scenes. There was more of an orangish hue for anything at the school, and it was good. There was a very desaturated look to nighttime scenes in the dark, and a lot of the foreboding scenes were drenched in a deep blue, kind of similar to Underworld. And they did some of this in the other movies, but I thought it really upped the ante on the atmosphere in general. So I really appreciate that. I don't know who's doing the art direction, but the cinematography is absolutely fantastic. The effects are great as always. And, that's one thing, there is less effects in this movie. It's not quite as, I suppose, magical as the other movies because of its more down-to-earth tone. So overall, should you go see Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince? Well, if you haven't seen the other ones, you need to go see those first, of course. But if you have, whether you've read the books or not, I personally think this is a fantastic movie. It deserves all the praise it's getting, and I really am looking forward to the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 now, which I was not before after watching Order of the Phoenix. So, with little trepidation, I can fully recommend Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.